Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Andrea and today I'll guide you through a morning yoga practice. So if you're looking for an energizing practice to really wake up your whole body in the morning, you're in the right spot. For today's practice, we don't need any props, so we can start in a cross-legged seated position, or you can sit in Virasana, which means sitting on your knees. And let's just find a moment here, closing our eyes, to set an intention for today's practice. Let's put our focus on our breath, feeling how our belly and our chest inflates with each inhale, and then perceive each exhale. Is it in the chest? Is it in the belly? Let's make sure we find a straight line between our shoulders and our sitting bones and the crown of your head. And just breathe here. Relax your jaw, your forehead. Let's try to really pay attention to each single sensation that can arouse from the body, being a pain or a sense of relief or stiffness. And let's also take the chance to set an intention for today's practice. Maybe you want to send the benefits of the practice to someone or to something or simply to yourself. And then with the next inhale, slowly open your eyes. And let's begin the practice. So we'll start today's practice in Balasana. So we'll come at the end of the mat with our big toes touching, our knees are separated, we can sit on our heels, and then from here we can go forward with our hands until our forehead touches the mat. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths, feeling the back of our spine rounding with each inhale and releasing with each exhale. And then with the next inhale, we look forward and we move forward with our entire body, with our chest, until we reach a modified up dog with our knees on the floor. And exhale, we come back into Balasana. We'll repeat 3 times. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward, last one. Exhale, find tabletop. Good. So you can square and measure your tabletop by rotating both hands towards the inside so that your middle fingers touch, and then rotate them back forward. And let's really make sure that we find a 90-degree angles between the forearms and the quads towards the ground. Okay, so we are really straightening our pose here. And then slowly what we'll do here, it's starting to do some small circles, not from our hips as we usually do, but using our hands and our arms as the pernum. So it's really about going forward with our shoulders above our wrists and then behind our wrist. I'm doing this in a circular, in a clockwise direction. And then we can expand the circles, making them bigger with each round. And then we can even enlarge a little bit more, going forward and then back, always keeping the clockwise spin. If you feel noises of your bones on your back, that's totally normal, especially in the morning. We're really moving all of our joints here. And 3 of these, 2 more, 1, and back to center. Great. And then of course the other side, so small circles at the beginning. Let's simply put our weight on our wrists and move forward with your shoulders and then back. This time we're going against time, so in the anti-clockwise direction with the spin of the planet. And then we can extend the circles a bit more. And 3, 2, 1, and then back to hands and knees. Good. So for hands and knees, let's place the right knee in the center of the mat, and then place the left knee behind the right. Okay? And from here, we'll start spinning in a clockwise direction. This time the spins are starting from the hips. So those are the regular ones we always do in our practices if you're following the channel. And we can start with small circles here, looking forward, of course, feeling the grounding in our position from our hands on the floor and our knees on the floor, and of course our feet. And we can then start moving a bit faster if this is comfortable for you, perceiving each direction, and of course pay attention to which areas feel stiffer than others. So if there is a specific area of the spin which is more uncomfortable, and we can even pay attention to it and drive our focus, because we really want to come out of our comfort zone and explore new areas and get out of our patterns, you know. And the only way to get out of our patterns is really to push ourselves outside of those boundaries, which sometimes we create ourselves in our minds. And 5 more, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. We can step back into tabletop, and this time we'll do the opposite side. So we'll place the left knee at the center of the mat, and then the right knee behind the left. Look forward, and this time we'll spin in an anti-clockwise direction. Always small circles at the beginning, starting from our hips. And then we can extend them, make them bigger, and keep going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then this time we stay here, so we're not coming straight into hands and knees. And from here, what we'll do is we'll plant both feet on the ground, press into our hands, and come into our first downward facing dog of the day with our legs crossed. So press your hands on the floor, elevate the hips, make sure that your shoulders are not so close to your ears, push them away. You can even jump a little bit here so you can balance on your knees, and then inhaling, come forward into plank, look forward, exhale, downward dog, inhale, plank, exhale, downward dog, inhale, plank, exhale, downward dog. And then from here, place the right hand a bit more towards the center of the mat, And the next inhale, you can place your left hand outside of your left ankle. So you can look behind your right shoulder here. This is a twist and a balanced pose as well. Press strongly to the ground with your right hand and keep breathing here for 3 more. 2, 1, and then back to downward dog. So from here, come forward into plank, then back to downward dog, and then back to hands and knees. We can release the crossover legs, and then we do it on the other side. So we place the right knee at the center of the mat, the left knee behind the right, tuck your toes, and come into downward dog. As we did earlier, press into your hands, elevate the hips. You can jump a bit with your knees. And then inhale, look forward plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Move just a little bit your left hand towards the center of your mat. And the next inhale, with your right hand, grab the outside of your right ankle. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Then back to center. Release the cross of your legs. Find a regular downward dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. So you can pedal a bit your dog here, which should be with your legs bent, so you can elevate your hips. And at the same time, in order to go against our ancient patterns, and since we always practice in Katona downward dog with your knees bent, you can actually try to extend one leg, then extend the other, dropping the right heel, for example, to the floor. And then if you feel comfortable in pedaling your dog like this, you can actually try to drop both heels to the floor. Keep pressing your hands to the floor, keep elevating your hips towards the sky. And then get back to a downward dog with knees bent. Exhale, elevate the right leg towards the sky. And inhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Good. You can drop the left knee to the floor. And then extend both hands to the sides. And from here you can start doing circles in a clockwise direction with your armpit fitting perfectly on top of your right knee. So, our body is an origami, and you can feel here the perfect fit between your armpit and your knee. Look forward. Then bring both hands a bit further towards the front of your mat. And exhale, you can draw your hips towards the back and fold on top of your right leg. Inhale, bend your right knee, come forward, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward, open your chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. And then from here, get back with both hands on the floor. Place the left hand just below your left shoulder. And from here, open up with your right hand towards the sky. Breathe here. You can stay in this twist. Make sure that your right leg is bent at 90-degree angle. You're pressing with your left hand towards the floor. your gaze goes towards your right hand, so it goes towards the sky. And then from here, if your body allows it, you can bend your left leg and then open and grab your left ankle with your right hand. You can open your feet, your right foot towards 2 o'clock here, and you can twist. So with each inhale, you can open up, and exhaling, twist. With the next inhale, release your leg and get back to downward facing dog. Good, so you can pedal your dog here as we did earlier. You can bend both legs and extend both legs with your heels on the floor. And then with your next exhale, you can drive up towards the sky your left leg. And inhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Release your right knee to the floor. Good. So open your hands to the side. Place your left armpit on top of the left knee, and from here start spinning in an anti-clockwise direction. So the spin can start from your hips, but really try to feel it on your armpit. So your knee and your armpit should feel like one single entity moving with the direction of time, with the direction of our planet, against the direction of time. And again, place your hands in front of you and exhale, round and drop your head. Inhale, look forward, chest up, and exhale, round. So you will not extend entirely your left leg. So you want to bend it 90 degrees, and with each exhale you want to bend it, but you want to give priority to the contact between your knee and your armpit. And one last round. Inhale, exhale. Inhale forward. This time you plant your right hand on the floor, and with next inhale, you open up your left arm towards the sky. Your gaze goes towards your arm. And if your body allows it, you can bend the right leg and grab your right ankle with your left arm. With each inhale, we rise, and each exhale, we twist. And then release your left leg to the ground. Come back with the left hand towards the ground, and then we come back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. You can shake your legs here, and then one step at a time, we come up to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. So we can measure our fold here by placing two fists in between the arches of our feet. Great. And then from here, we inhale, we look forward, and exhale with our knees bended or micro bended. We come into our fold, and we can even grab both elbows with the opposite ends. So we can stay here 3 breaths, or even more if you wish. Then we can take both hands behind us, interlace the fingertips, and we can draw them in front of us, which will help our bend. Inhale, release, and this time we'll place both hands with with both palms facing upwards below our heels. Three breaths here. Inhale, release both hands, place them in front of you. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time, we get up into chair pose. Looking forward, bending your knees, of course, and then inhaling, come all the way up. Release both arms to the sides. Beautiful. Then inhale, both arms and hands towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up in front of you and take a step back with your right foot. Then the left follows, plank pose. And then from here, we take a chaturanga in 2 breaths, slowly releasing our entire body towards the floor. Great. So make sure that your forehead is touching the floor. Then you can place both hands in cactus. All right, so cactus basically is 90-degree angle between your forearm and your biceps. And from here we will inhale, rise them up, and exhale, draw them back to the floor. Inhale, rise, exhale, back. Inhale, rise, exhale, back to the floor. And then we make it a bit more challenging. So inhale, rise, extend them in front of you, back into cactus, and then to the floor. Inhale, up, exhale, front, inhale, back, exhale, to the ground. One last time. Inhale, up, exhale, front, inhale, back, exhale, ground. Beautiful. So then you can place both forearms in front of you, finding Sphinx pose. So really try to open your chest and look in front of you here, just for a couple of breaths. And then exhale and release. Again, forehead to the ground. So this time, you will interlace both hands behind you, and with the next inhale, you can rise up from your chest, pulling yourself from your hands which are behind you. And you can stay here for a couple of breaths. And then back, release your forehead to the ground, release both hands. You can shake a bit your hips, right and left. And then you can bend both knees, all right? And then you can grab your ankles from the outside and inhale, rise your chest up, feeling the pull from your hands and your ankles. And then exhale. Forehead to the ground, release the pose. Place both hands below your shoulders. And here you can tuck your toes. And with the next inhale, come into chaturanga, then into plank, then back into downward dog. Then inhale, come to plank, release both knees to the ground and find balasana, child's pose. So make sure that your big toes touch. Your hands are in front of you. They can stay with your palm touching the mat, or you can come into your fingertips to feel the stretch in the upper part of your back, your shoulders. Then inhale, you can start walking with your hands towards the right, finding 2 o'clock. Inhale here and exhale, round and replace your forehead to the mat so you can feel here your whole left side of the body extending and stretching. If not, you can walk even further with your hands until you feel a stretch, always with a smile, of course. Then inhale, move towards 10 o'clock, so all the other way, and this time we should feel the stretch in the right side of your body. Good. Inhale, look forward, come back with your gaze in front of you, and this time we can place our left elbow just in front of the right knee. Create a fist with the left hand, then release your left shoulder towards the mat. So if this is not accessible, you can place a block or a blanket below your left shoulder. If not, you can then place your right hand on top of the left fist and simply twist. Exhale, look down, and then release. Both hands in front of you. Stretch it for 1 second in Balasana. Then again, look forward. This time you place your right elbow in front of the left knee. Create a fist with the right hand. Cover it with the left and twist. Exhale, look down. Bring both hands in front of you and release into Balasana. Inhale, look forward, and then come back with both hands until you are seated on your heels. So I'll come into the center of the mat so you can see it better. So basically we are seated with both our sitting bones on our heels. And now, first of all, we're gonna stretch a bit our feet. So we'll place both hands on the floor, and this is accessible for you today. You can draw your weight towards the back of the mat, rising both knees to the front. I know, it's not so pleasurable on your feet, but I guarantee this help. It's a super nice massage. So if this is too uncomfortable for you, you can always place a blanket below your knees, or you can, make the pose a bit softer, so you can draw them a bit back. If not, you can stay here for a couple of more breaths together with me. One more. Big inhale from the nose and exhale from the nose, and then release. Nice. Good. Perfect. So we'll sit still in Virasana, meaning sitting with our sitting bones on our heels. And here we'll start doing some breathing exercise, which usually helps a lot in the morning to wake up and energize the body. So first of all, let's find a straight line, our alignment, meaning that our shoulders, I always say it, should be aligned with the hips, in this case with our heels, and also make sure that the crown of the head is aligned with our shoulders. How do we normally do it? Sometimes people don't know it, but sometimes this is the classical position everybody is in, so we should probably move the neck backwards a bit so that the chest can expand and the head can really sit in between the shoulders. Good. So let's find this pose. And then in order to improve our mobility for the day ahead, what we'll do is exhaling, rounding the spine, gaze towards the navel, and inhale, enlarge the back, open the chest, look forward and up. X, in, X, in. And we will repeat this while pumping the breath. So we'll try to do it with a pretty strong rhythm. If you have issues on your knees, you can always place a blanket below your knees, or the same exercise can be done being seated in crossed legs. Of course, this is also accessible if you're sitting on a chair. It really doesn't matter. So it will go like this. I'll guide you through just a couple of those breaths, but you can of course follow along. It will be like 50-50 of them. In, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Good. So this time what we'll do is placing both hands with our fingers interlaced behind our head, like this. And what we'll do now is basically inhale, move towards the right, and exhale towards the left, doing the same thing we did earlier. So we can start in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, right, left, right, left, right, left, in, X, in, X. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Release both hands. You can shake a bit your feet if they hurt. And then we can move on to the last one. So this time again, we'll interlace our fingers, bring them behind the head, and close a bit your elbows. So we can actually start with our back rounded. We'll open your chest and open the elbows as well. So we'll go exhale round, inhale open, X in, X in. We'll count 50 of them again. So here we go. X in, X in, X in, X in. This is an energizing breathing technique. So in the morning,
for me, this is the most appropriate moment to do those kind of breathing exercises because they prepare for the day ahead, awakening the body, working on your mobility, on the joints, which is where the energy of your body flows. It's not really in the muscles, it's in the joints. And this is why we activate mobility and the breath, which of course is something which we try to connect between mind, body, and energy through your breath. 5 more, 4, 3, and back to center. Good, so you can place both hands on your laps. Stay with your eyes closed for a moment. Inhale and exhale through the nose. You'll probably feel the heat you have generated through the practice and through this last breath work we did. So now I invite you to really pay attention to this sensation you have right now. And make sure you can try to keep it for as long as possible during your day. So whenever life brings you challenges, as it does for all of us during the day, you can always try to get back to this specific moment, to this specific sensation of evenness between inhalation and exhalation. And grounding and presence and maybe perhaps clarity. But of course, I'd like to hear how did this practice go for all of you, so you can feel free to drop a comment and tell me which kind of sensation you felt, specifically after this breath work we did. And then you can do a big inhale through the nose and a loud exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Loud exhale through the mouth. Back to your inhale and exhale at your natural rhythm. And with the next inhale, you can slowly open your eyes in front of you. Thank you, friends. Thank you for today's practice. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat. I really hope you appreciate the class. If you did so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As you know, it's really important to me since I'm at the beginning of my yoga teacher journey here on YouTube. So I hope this small community can grow, so spread the word, and I hope to see you soon on the mat. Namaste. Ciao.